Have you ever wondered what's really happening in the day-to-day life of your students, beyond what you see in classrooms and hallways? Schools can feel like their own little ecosystems, always shifting and needing the right kind of support to stay productive and safe. The challenge is figuring out what needs attention before small issues start growing into bigger ones. I'm Sissy with Jotform, and in this video, we will walk through how surveying students can give you a clear window into their experiences, reveal problems you may not see, and help you make more informed decisions about your campus. We'll go step by step so you can run surveys that are meaningful and effective. Let's jump right in. Schools depend on constant awareness, and one of the most reliable ways to understand what's going on is simply asking students directly. Student surveys act like a test for the entire learning environment. They help you see what's working, what isn't, and where you may need to adjust your approach. When you gather their feedback consistently, administrators, teachers, and students all benefit because you're shaping an environment that responds to real needs rather than assumptions. Surveys also give you a much clearer picture of what students are dealing with day to day. Sometimes challenges they face won't show up in grades, attendance, or quick conversations. But when they're given space to express their experiences honestly, you can uncover issues that might have gone unnoticed. Maybe there's a particular class where the workload feels unmanageable, or a hallway where students don't feel safe, or a teaching method that's confusing rather than helpful. Surveys bring these things to the surface so you can respond proactively. To make your surveys effective, the first step is to ask detailed questions. That starts with identifying your main goal and being specific about what you want to understand. Broad questions might seem easier, but they usually lead to answers that don't provide much clarity. So think about what exactly you want to improve or evaluate. If you're focusing on teacher performance, you can ask students to rate their experiences with specific educators or share how supported they feel with their coursework. If your goal is to understand whether students feel represented and respected, ask if they feel included in the learning environment or if they've ever felt targeted because of their background. And if student engagement is the priority, ask about which teaching methods help them stay focused and learn best. Once you know your goal, the next step is choosing the right type of response for each question. Some questions might work with a simple yes or no. Others might need a rating scale from 1 to 10, or a Likert scale that ranges from strongly disagree to strongly agree. And it's helpful to include space for optional comments so students can explain their answers in their own words. Using both quantitative and qualitative data gives you a deeper understanding because you'll see not only how many students feel a certain way, but also why they feel that way. After deciding on the questions, it's important to choose the right technology to administer your survey. Younger people tend to respond better when they can complete surveys using text, computers, or tablets instead of paper forms. And choosing the right software makes a huge difference because you want to collect, organize, and analyze your data easily and securely. Platforms like Jotform offer a wide selection of survey templates for different needs, whether you're asking about teacher assessments, stress levels, or remote learning. There are education-related templates you can start with, and you can customize any of them to make sure they fit your exact goals. Jotform Education also has data collection forms built specifically for educators, which helps you streamline your workflow. Once your survey is ready, the next challenge is encouraging students to complete it thoughtfully. This part is crucial because even the most well-designed survey won't help you if no one responds. Email surveys are inexpensive, but they're easy to ignore. Students tend to skip emails they don't recognize, and phone calls from unknown numbers almost never get answered. So it usually works better to engage them in physical spaces where you already have their attention. One of the best approaches is dedicating class time to complete the survey. This way, students don't feel like they have to use their free time, and they'll generally give more attention to their answers because it feels like part of their school day. It also helps you avoid missing entire groups of students who might not check their email. And honestly, many students will gladly answer surveys if it means taking a brief break from schoolwork. If classroom time is limited, there are other creative ways to reach students. You can partner with student activity groups or clubs and set up survey booths in busy areas around campus. Offer small incentives like pens, notebooks, or even small gift cards to encourage participation. You can still email the survey as well, but adding a reward for completing it can significantly increase your response rate. Even extra credit can work wonders. After collecting all your responses, your next step is analyzing the results. It's usually easiest to start with quantitative data because patterns tend to show up quickly when you're working with numbers. Tools like Jotform can take spreadsheet information and automatically turn it into charts, graphs, or tables, making the data much easier to understand at a glance. You won't have to do the calculations manually, which saves a lot of time. Once you've reviewed the numbers, you can shift to your qualitative data. This part gives you the stories behind the statistics. For example, if you're surveying about bullying, the numbers might show how widespread the concern is, but the comments can reveal solutions that students believe would help. If you've collected demographic information, like gender or ethnicity, you can break the data down into separate charts to see if certain groups are having different experiences. And if you find results that don't quite line up or seem contradictory, it may be a sign that you need a second round of surveys to get clearer answers. Finally, surveys aren't just a one-time project. They can help you track progress over months or even years, showing whether your changes are actually making a difference. By continuing to survey your students regularly, you can ensure that your school environment stays safe, supportive, and effective for everyone involved. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Sissy with Jotform, and I hope this helps you build surveys that truly give your students a voice. Be sure to click subscribe so you don't miss future videos. See you next time!